You've probably seen those three letters, LLM, popping up everywhere lately, right? It sounds super technical and maybe a little intimidating, but what if I told you you've almost definitely used one already, maybe even today, without even thinking about it? Let's peel back the curtain and see what's really going on. So, quick question for you. Have you ever popped a question into ChatGPT, or maybe used Google Gemini to brainstorm some ideas? Or maybe you've had a chat with Claude? If any of that sounds familiar, you're already way ahead of the game. Because if you said yes to any of those, well, congratulations. You've used an LLM. See? It's not some far-off, futuristic tech. It's right there in the tools that we're all starting to use every single day. Okay, so we've established that you're probably an LLM user already. Now let's actually get into what that term LLM really means. Time to break it all down. All right, the big reveal. LLM simply stands for Large Language Model. That's it, just those three words. Not so scary now, is it? Now, to really wrap our heads around this, we're going to do something a little clever. Let's just pretend that that first word, large, doesn't even exist for a minute. We're going to focus on the real heart of it, the language model. And to understand what a language model is, I want to tell you a little story. Let's imagine we're meeting a very, very special kind of librarian. Okay, picture this. You walk into a huge school library, and the librarian there, well, she's done something incredible. She has read and perfectly memorized every single word on every single page of every single book in that entire library. So now you can ask her literally anything, and she can give you an answer in a split second. But, and this is the most important part, she isn't thinking up new ideas. She's just an absolute master at spotting patterns and connecting all the dots from the information she's already absorbed. That, my friends, is basically what a language model is. Okay, so that's our language model, a super smart librarian. But what about that word we ignored? Large. Well, this is where our librarian gets some serious superpowers. Let's watch this happen. First, she masters her school library. Easy enough. Then, she absorbs every book from every single library and university in the entire city, getting bigger. But then she consumes pretty much all of the text from the entire internet. Whoa. At this point, she's not just a librarian anymore. She's something else entirely. And that is what makes it a large language model. It's an AI that's been trained on an absolutely mind-boggling amount of text. And that massive scale is what allows it to understand what we're asking and talk back to us in a way that feels so, well, so human. So that's the what. But why should you care? How can this super-powered librarian actually make your life easier? Well, the best way to think about it is as your new, tireless personal assistant. I mean, the possibilities are kind of staggering. You can use it to help write a script for your next video or act as your personal tutor to finally learn how to code. It can explain tough homework topics, give you recipe ideas for dinner tonight, help you draft that important email. It can even help you build a professional resume from scratch. Whatever you're doing, an LLM can probably help. But just like with any powerful tool, it comes with a user manual and some important warnings. If you want to get the most out of these things and avoid some really common traps, there are a few things you absolutely have to know. First things first, the prompt. That's just the fancy word for the question or the command you type in. And here's the golden rule. The quality of your prompt determines the quality of the answer you get back. Be clear and specific, you'll get a great result. Be vague, and you'll get a vague and probably useless result. Simple as that. Okay, this next part is maybe the single most important thing to get. LLMs are incredible at predicting the next most likely word in a sentence. They're amazing pattern matchers. But here's what they are not. They are not thinking. They're not conscious, and that means they are definitely not a perfect source of truth. Let me be absolutely crystal clear on this. These models can be confidently, convincingly wrong. They can make up facts, invent sources, they can lie to you with perfect grammar. So please, the number one rule is this: never, ever trust their information 100%. Always treat what they give you as a starting point, something you have to verify for yourself. So, at the end of the day, large language models are amazing, powerful tools. They're incredible assistants, but they are not perfect, all-knowing oracles. They are not authorities. And knowing that difference is the real key to using them well. So now that you know the rules of the road, how are you going to use them?